This is part 2 of a 2-part episode. If you haven't seen the first half of my Rampage Retrospective to celebrate Kaiju Month, click here to catch up on it. Don't worry, you won't miss anything while you catch up. I'll just be sitting here thinking about what soups I haven't had in a while. French onion... Oh, corn chowder. I haven't had minestrone in forever. Marvelous hello, friends and loved ones, how are you today, and welcome to part 2 of the Rampage Retrospective. It seems like our giant monsters have already been just about everywhere in the past 3 games, so how about this time, we take them to every when? Because we're going to be rampaging through time. It's kind of funny, because if we could travel through time, we wouldn't have had to wait on this video. The game opens up with the newscaster from Universal Tour in what is undoubtedly one of the longest, most awkward, painful cutscenes I have ever seen in my life. The entire cutscene is about 5 minutes long, but over half of it is weird pauses and stretched out silence. I've seen games needlessly pad out their gameplay to try and add length, but padding out your cutscenes? Pretty low, Rampage. Basically, Scum Labs has built a time portal because... reasons. The instruction booklet says it's to rule the world, but Wikipedia says it's to help clean up the monster's destruction in the past. The game itself never really says, so for all I know, Scum Labs just wants to travel to when Persona 5 is finally out. I'm sorry, but I can't let this cutscene go. It's so terrible. The voice acting is atrocious. Many of the jokes just feel stupidly juvenile.
Dr. Yuri Null.
And trust me, I usually love that about this series. And it just keeps going. Here, watch this. That was 5 seconds. Was that annoying? Did you consider skipping ahead or even just clicking away from this video entirely? I wouldn't have blamed you. This goes on for over a minute in the actual cutscene. No, really, I counted. A literal minute of just this. Okay, I'm sorry, I won't do that again. Oh, and the cutscene ends with this happening.
And there was much rejoicing.
All 7 monsters from Universal Tour, as well as a new warthog monster named Harley, jump into the time portal, so now they can wreak havoc on history. One upside this has over Universal Tour is you can choose any of the monsters from the start of the game. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Harley, because I've always had a fondness for new characters. Alright, our first stop is the far, far future of 2034 in Neo Tokyo, and we'll... Literally 2 seconds into this game and I've been kicked in the balls. I really hope this isn't a sign of things to come. Also, why does 2034 Japan look more futuristic than 2112 wherever this is supposed to be? The first thing you may notice about this game is that I'm not alone. There are always 2 other monsters with you during the campaign mode, which for some reason is only 1 player, which is a real shame since Rampage has always been a pretty fun co-op series. The problem with the other 2 monsters is that they're dumb. One of the biggest annoyances in this game is you often can't even climb to the top of a building to smash it down because they hog the camera. Most of the time, the other monsters just run around punching each other and occasionally kicking you in the balls. It turns every level into an episode of the Three Stooges. I don't hate the idea of having 2 other monsters thrown into the fray. It certainly can make things interesting, but it was just implemented so poorly. More often than not, it's a pain just trying to get through the levels. Oh, and all the stuff you can find in buildings? Don't worry about it. There are no lives, so health doesn't matter. Seriously, just smash buildings as quickly as you can. One other thing I really like about this game is that each time period is only 4 levels. So while the game still has the same repetitive gameplay of older Rampage, at least it's often mixed up with different locations and enemies. Sure, it's mostly visual stuff, but at least it's something. I appreciated the effort. Of course, that effort also made this one of the shortest games in the series. The controls are also a bit worse than previous titles. When I was playing Universal Tour, I felt great destroying a building and leaping flawlessly to the next skyscraper. It felt like a non-stop Rampage combo, and I loved it. This game can't do that. You're lucky if you can even see the next building on screen, because your idiot opponents will try and drag the camera in the opposite direction. So in other words, it's worse than Universal Tour. Its only advantages are prettier levels and not being forced to unlock characters. And yet, this is one of the worst video games I have ever played in my life. Why, you ask? I'll tell you. Remember how I said each time period was only 4 levels? Well, the 4th level tries to break the monotony some. The 4th level of every stage is a minigame centered around the world you're in. Usually these are just cheap knockoffs of other games like Asteroids, Arkanoids, Snake, or this one that plays a lot like Binding of Isaac. Now in Universal Tour, the minigames were quick, simple, and just existed as an opportunity to earn extra lives or heal up. Not here though. You have to win these minigames. If you lose them, it's game over. No second chances, no retries, just game over. Back to the menu. So you have to go through the same time period again. And these aren't quick little minigames either. Some of these games can last several minutes only for you to lose. And then, yeah, it's game over. There are a few special games in the lineup that are considered boss battles, and these are just you against a specific opponent. I like these a bit more than battling the other monsters, and these are the only ones I'm okay with being a one-try deal. When you beat a boss battle, you get a cutscene of your monster celebrating, and, Hi there, Harley. You okay? Do I have something on my face? Should I call someone? Oh, no, okay, he just wanted to murder me. This game from the Old West took me several tries. It looks pretty easy, but the controls in this game are terrible, which is one of the biggest flaws of most of the games. The controls are bad, the games are bad, and who thought it was a good idea to make them mandatory? Minigames should be fun extra challenges for points or lives, not the most frustrating required hurdles in the entire game. I couldn't beat this game. I came really close, just a few time periods left, but I can't do it. These minigames are so terrible, I had to save myself. I don't care how close I am to beating the game. I'd turn Harley into bacon before I attempt this horrible rendition of Snake again. But don't worry, like many games in the series, Rampage Through Time has cheat codes, one of which allows me to look at any cutscene I want. So here's the ending.
It is with deep regret that I bring you this special report.
Hey, no, wait, you're dead. This is really it? Our final cutscene is just the newscaster giving another report with his horrible voice work? I'm glad I didn't finish. Screw this game. This is one of the worst games I've ever played. I don't understand how you can go so far from Universal Tour, which was still pretty okay, to this piece of trash. To its credit, there are some decent ideas here. The whole 3 monsters thing wouldn't have been so bad if the game were zoomed out a little more and they didn't mess with the camera so much. Even the horrible minigames could have been tolerable if they weren't a requirement and failing them wasn't an instant game over. I like the time periods, I like the visuals, I like some of these ideas, and I think this game has the best soundtrack in the entire series. But nothing in this game feels well executed. This game killed the Rampage series. There won't be another main entry in the Rampage series for 6 years after this. But there was another game that came out soon after. Have you ever had an interest in the Rampage series, but thought it just has a little bit too much in the way of smashing buildings and eating people? Couldn't the monsters be doing something a bit more fun, like, I don't know, solving block puzzles? Well then, I've got the game for you! Rampage Puzzle Attack. Rampage Puzzle Attack is exactly what it sounds like. It's a block puzzle game. You have a row of blocks up here at the top, and you can shuffle them around to your liking before dropping them in a group of 2. Making groups of the same color will cause them to disappear. It's pretty simple, and not very interesting, honestly. I don't really have a lot to say about this game. It's a Rampage puzzle spin-off. Except for the monster standing on the side, it's not even very specific to Rampage. There's no story, no new monsters, not much worth noting. To give the game some credit, it's got quite a bit to offer if puzzle games are your thing. There are 4 game modes, each with 50 levels to complete. Clear mode, where you just try to get rid of every block. Rescue mode, where you have to destroy all the blocks on top of the cage in a short amount of time. Marathon mode, where blocks are constantly forming like a weird reverse Tetris. And my personal favorite, Puzzle mode, where you have to get rid of all the blocks using a specific number of moves. Puzzle mode was the only mode I personally had fun with, because it was a matter of pretty clever thinking without too much pressure. It was nice. Overall, Rampage Puzzle Attack isn't terrible. I'd rather play this than go through time again. It's not the best puzzle game, but it's not the worst. If you like block puzzle games, it's functional enough and pretty cheap if you ever want a copy for yourself. Rampage Puzzle Attack was released in 2001, and it wouldn't be another 5 years before we got another Rampage game, but when we did, oh man guys, it was a big one. Get ready for total destruction. This is the Wii version. got it super cheap at a GameStop. Trust me, it's in here. Let's just start with the GameCube version. Total Destruction acts as sort of a reboot to the series. Scum Labs is market testing their new product, Scum Soda, which is turning select individuals into giant monsters.
How many people had a negative reaction?
Well, we're still working the numbers on that one, Mr. Z, but I would say, roughly speaking, 30.
I see. 30. And how many people tried Scum Soda?
30.
On the complete opposite end from Through Time, I love this cutscene. It looks nice, it sounds nice, it genuinely made me laugh, and it sets up all the information we need to know about the game by using story details to explain the game mechanic of unlocking new characters. It works really well. I'd show you more of it, but I had to use that time for making fun of Through Time. But seriously, I would watch an entire Rampage movie if it looked and sounded like this. You start out with the three main familiar faces, as well as newcomers Ramsey the Ram, Gilman the Blowfish, and Rhett, who I guess has replaced Curtis. There are 24 other monsters you can unlock, all of which are new to the series. You unlock monsters by playing as certain monsters in certain cities. It's not a bad system, but I wish the game gave you a bit more in the way of hints regarding how to get them. Unlike all the previous games, Total Destruction only has 7 cities, but each city has 10 levels. This helps the levels feel a lot more fleshed out, having jokes specific to that city, and destroying multiple parts of it feels a lot better than smashing down 7 buildings and being told a city is completely destroyed. A lot of new features were included in this game. You can now climb on the fronts of buildings, and even climb from building to building with relative ease. Every level has a specific challenge to complete. These are usually for getting more points, but each monster also has 4 special attacks to unlock, including a charge punch and a ground pound. The only problem is these challenges can be a little bit annoying at times. Sometimes you have to wait for your target to show up, and it's very easy to destroy the item you need to eat. However, challenge items can always be found in the same spot, so it's not too bad. The game also uses a bit more of a 3D environment to move around in, and like most games that go from 2D to 3D, it's not great. It can be pretty frustrating, but not game-breaking. It just doesn't flow as well as some of the earlier titles in that regard. While there aren't as many levels as World or Universal Tour or even Through Time, Total Destruction makes up for that by having the challenges, having a par score for each city, and of course the aforementioned unlocking monsters. So while it can be a little repetitive, there are reasons to go back to these levels and unlock more stuff from the game. Total Destruction is not only a pretty fleshed out game, but it comes with the original arcade version and World Tour, which is where I recorded all of my footage from. With all the levels it has, the bonus content, multiplayer modes, everything this game has to offer, there really is a lot in store here. But I think it's time we finally talk about the Wii version. This would work a lot better if I had the box art, wouldn't it? Okay, so let's get this out of the way. The Wii version has more stuff. It's got 10 extra monsters, 3 of which are the familiar faces of Boris, Ruby, and Vern, but still no Curtis. And it adds 10 extra levels by giving us the city of Dallas to destroy. The new city is nice, and the new monsters are all pretty great. Some of my favorites are Fifi the Poodle and Squirmy, the, Earthworm Golem? Oh, that's pleasant. But this is a Wii game, so that means it uses Wii controls. Don't even try to play this game without a nunchuck, because all of your movement otherwise is done through pointing, and it's awful. Even with a nunchuck, it's bad, because 2 of the most frequent and useful skills in this game, grabbing and smashing, are done through swinging the Wiimote, and it's not very good at detecting which one you want to do. This sucks. I know what some of you were thinking. Well, hey, there was a GameCube version. Can't I just use a GameCube controller like in some other games? Well, you'd think so, and according to Steven from Yahoo Answers 9 years ago, you totally can. But Steven is wrong, and he lied to all of us, and he's stupid, and I hate him. You can't use the GameCube controller. You can't even use the classic controller. You have to play the Wii version with its horrible motion controls. Oh, and let's not forget the most important bonus feature the Wii version added that the GameCube version didn't have. You can watch this trailer for the Billy and Mandy video game, which I've played. It's not great. The extra monsters and levels are great, but I don't think it's worth the trade for some really bad motion controls. I'm sorry, Fifi, but I just prefer the GameCube version. When you beat the game, we get another cutscene from Scum Labs. It turns out nobody cares that Scum Soda turns them into giant monsters because Scum Soda is so gosh darn delicious. I feel like there's a lesson to be taken away from this, but I couldn't tell you what it is. Wow, and that is everything. 6 Rampage titles across almost 30 years. Where does the series even go from here? It's been almost 10 years since the last Rampage title, but hey, the gap between the original and World Tour was about a decade too, so maybe the series is due for a comeback soon. I'm thinking it would have to find some way to make itself more engaging to modern audiences while sticking true to the format, and I'm not sure if it can do that. There was some artwork released for an idea of a Rampage for the Kinect, which sounds like a pretty good idea on paper, but I think the Wii version taught us that doing the same motions over and over again just gets exhaustive and repetitive. Plus, looking at this artwork, I'm kind of okay that this never came out. The last Rampage-related news we ever really got was they're finally making the movie they said they were gonna make, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm totally gonna go see it. Overall, the Rampage series has been one of decent fun, but every game, good or bad, has suffered the same problem. And you may have even picked up on what that problem is while watching these videos. Repetitive. If I had to recommend any singular Rampage game to someone interested in checking out the series, it would have to be the GameCube version of Total Destruction. The PS2 version would also be fine, but the GameCube one has that 4-player support if that matters to you. Total Destruction is one of the better games in the series, and comes bundled with the original and World Tour, which I think are the other strong highlights of the series. And I suppose that's really everything. I had a lot of fun going through this franchise. Except through time, of course. And that's it for my very first Kaiju month. I wonder what I'll have in store for next year. For now, I just want to say, happy 50th birthday, Gamera. Take it away, boys.
Gamera is really neat. He is filled with turtle meat. We all love you, Gamera.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching part 2 of the Rampage Retrospective and celebrating Kaiju Month with me. If you missed my Halloween special, you can click the TV to learn what game scared me the most when I was a kid. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. What's your favorite giant monster movie? Mine is the 90s Gamera trilogy. If you've got any suggestions for what you'd like to see for next year's Kaiju Month, let me know down there as well. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care.